So you should totally hit that like button and subscribe to Couch in the Rube on YouTube. Seriously though, if you don't, Santa's literally gonna skip my house this year. And Graham Couch? Yeah, he's threatening to catnap my precious kitty. So come on, help a girl out.
What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch in the Rube, our Monday afternoon show presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. It is gift-giving time. It is Christmas time, Hanukkah time, whatever you celebrate. Maybe you just celebrate yourself, and it's cold. It's 8 degrees outside. What you need is a Muskox flannel. You'll look good. You'll feel good. You'll be warm. I'm telling you, one of the great things, I walk out to the car, I take the trash out, whatever it is. I don't even put on a coat when I have a Muskox flannel, and yet I can be in this studio with heat lights up to 300 degrees, and I still feel great in a Muskox flannel. If you have somebody in your life that you care about, you want to show that you want to give a great gift, because we all know how good that feels. Muskox Flannels is here for you. Go muskox.com and the promo code PEACOCK for $15 off your Muskox flannel purchase. And you want to order by noon on Wednesday, noon this Wednesday, December 17th, to ensure that it's under the tree in time for Christmas, noon this Wednesday. Go muskox.com, Peacock for $15 off. Jason, how you doing, brother?
The urinal, the portal.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. We're still doing Christmas this year?
Yeah. Christmas is happening.
Caw. Jesus.
What do you want for Christmas, sir?
A Lions Super Bowl eventually in my lifetime. A healthy roster. A general manager that wants to make some moves. A head coach that lets an offensive coordinator call plays. I love you, Dan Campbell. I'm sorry. I'm lashing out today. Doug Wojcik's kid never to play again. That's on my Christmas list. No offense.
I'm sure none's taken.
Sorry, it was in the moment, during the game when you're blowing a lead on the road and, 10-point lead, and you see Wojcik's kid in there, and it's like, you got to lash out at somebody.
Yeah.
And anyway, well, hey, man, how about you?
I'm good. I'm great.
I wanted to not root for sports.
Yeah.
They take your soul. It's tough sometimes.
Yeah, I had a better weekend than you, and the Lions was a little frustrating to watch, but you could just sort of see it coming. And that's the hard part about this team is
you could.
Yeah,
I mean, the first half looked good.
It did.
I had fun in the first half a little bit. Besides, right before the half, letting that field goal happen.
I just had
just doing whatever they wanted.
Very little doubt that it was going to end the way it did. That was the problem, and I sort of sensed.
You could see the look on Stafford's face. What are you talking about? He had a field day yesterday. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We're playing man defense here. We can't get a pass rush. Jesus, some of these Lopez. I mean, he got a sack yesterday. Some of these guys, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Injuries.
Yeah. Well,
so what are we going to do next year? I don't know.
Well,
are we starting the show? Is the show started?
This is the show.
Is this the pre-show meeting that we usually do?
This is our pre-show meeting. We've started recording it. It's the bonus track.
Anyway, anything else happen with Michigan to make me feel better?
Oh, they're
Everybody
still
else try to kill themselves with butter knives? I could not stop thinking about that over the weekend. And don't give me this white knight shit about killing yourself. I understand. Suicide is a thing. I get it. I've been suicidal in my life before. But never once did I grab a fucking butter knife. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at that.
I'm just saying.
I'm openly laughing at someone trying to kill themselves with a butter knife. Write in, cancel me. I could give a shit.
I'm just saying it was a pretty violent weekend in the world overall.
Oh, the Reiner thing? Yeah, that's nothing to do with him.
2 shootings and other things. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty bad weekend for that.
I'm just talking about Sherrone more. Why are you trying to bring all the whole thing down here? You want to talk about 9/11 and was it an inside job too? I mean, what a start to the show.
Apologies.
Holy shit.
Let's fix this in post.
All I asked was something happened with the butter knife thing and I don't know. I keep hearing these rumors and these vague fucking Twitter posts about, ooh, if you thought last week was fun. Like, all right, well, let's get to it. What are we waiting for here? Yeah, stop teasing me with these fucking vague Facebook posts.
The vagueness and the 2 eyeballs.
Wait, what's that word?
Vagueness.
Vagueness?
Did I not pronounce that correctly?
Vagueness?
Vagnus. Vagnus.
Vegas? Las Vegas?
Vagnus. Vagnus? Is that what it is?
This has to be a top 5 start of all time. I don't care what anybody says here.
Vagnus?
Vagueness.
It's like bagels, right?
Oh, it's bad. What is that accent?
I don't know. I grew up here.
Sounds like a guy that's never broken a bone before, and he's like almost 50.
Yeah. Lansing Public Schools. Hey, you're not almost 50. Chill with that. You can say anything you want about anything. You can't say that. Almost 50 is not on the docket.
Like when Dominic posted a picture of you with Putin and Trump, I could see how offended you were through the Twitter post. Hey, leave me out of this. I think Couch is actually offended by that one. But anyway.
I think we're going to have a good show today.
Yeah, let's just get to the questions.
Good takes from people today. If it was questions, I grabbed the wrong stuff. I think it's takes. We're doing
takes.
Today.
Yep.
Takes. Let's get to your take first. Why don't you lead us off here, my friend?
Well, I just Jared Goff wasn't the problem yesterday. And the NFL refs, they're ass. And you can't tell me. I understand that they probably would have gotten the ball at the goal line, and probably scored eventually. But you have to laugh at the fact, even if you're an outside observer. There were a few people that were watching the game with me that aren't diehard Lions fans that even see that, and they go like, wow, why does this constantly happen to you guys? Like, it's just the fact that they go and review it, and then they go, actually, not only is that the one, it's a fucking touchdown. Here, wait for the extra point to just kick us, square in the dick. But my question was this. Why can we not get Jahmyr Gibbs going in 2 games in a row this season? Like, it seems like it's every other game. And the only way we're going to win games with this depleted roster, and Brad Holmes, by the way, question for you. So now that we've seen this the past 2 seasons, it's probably going to happen a third. What are we going to do, in the offseason, in the draft, to make sure that we have, I understand that we have injuries and other teams have injuries, but it seems like we are at the bottom of the barrel with our secondary and some of the guys. So I would like to know what we're going to, yes.
If part of what I think they need, and part of where you look at their best drafts and the core of their players they have now is when they've had extra picks, right?
Yeah.
Say they need to conjure up some extra picks.
Are you going to tell me about the Tesla thing?
No, I'm
trading the 3rd rounders last year.
Yeah, well, that wasn't good. But
by the way, he has more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, I think.
I'm just saying, who would you, if out of their core, out of the guys they paid or they're about to pay, is there somebody on the roster that would garner an extra 1st-round pick, an extra 2nd-round pick, 2 extra 2s, whatever it might be, a 2 and a 3, that you think would be worth moving off of to get picks? Is there anybody you think?
No, because they would be a part of our core guys, like a Montgomery, but I like having Montgomery in those 3rd and short situations. I think Montgomery can be, and he's got a friendly, he's got a friendly contract. Like, why would you want to get rid of him? I mean, everybody's depleted on the defensive line. I mean, on the defensive secondary as well. I mean, who's gonna?
No, it'd have to be somebody.
Guys?
It would have to be somebody of the Jameson Williams.
It would be Jack. Someone would want Jack Campbell or something like that. I don't want it. Yeah. What do you want? Anal zone? He's under a contract. He wants a contract extension. He wants money. He's sitting there crying about he's not going to make the Pro Bowl and begging people to vote for him. And by the way, Derek Barnes. I've seen enough of Derek Barnes for the rest of my fucking life. I don't need to see that. And then Dan Campbell. Back to Dan Campbell though. It's like I love Dan Campbell. Again, I do this with his. I love these guys, so I feel like we can lash out at times when we see something that we question. I don't know if keeping control of the team and these great pregame and postgame and halftime speeches that he gives, calling the game benefits the Lions long term. And I say that when I saw the penalty, like when he was trying to get a challenge, which I still don't understand what he was trying to get, whether it was the yardage or whatever, but he got a fly, or they used one of our timeouts, so we burned one of them too because you could not challenge that play. And the refs were like, we're taking one of your timeouts. It's just things like that when you're come on, he's a seasoned coach by now, right? That you would know not to do those things. And, just like the adjustments at halftime, the offense was absolutely deplorable in the second half yesterday. I mean, what do we have to do? Some sort of, I don't know. I just feel like you have to go with Gibbs. You can't wait for Gibbs to play against the Steelers to have a great big game.
There's clearly
why can't you just do it back-to-back here?
There's got to be a reset in the offseason, clearly, and it's going to have to be a small reset. Like the Lions aren't the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs are going to have to do a major reset, right? And obviously the Mahomes injury, the tearing the ACL, gives that opportunity. But they've been to 5 Super Bowls. They've won 3 of these things.
Right.
And so, they're in a position where you can feel okay. If you're a Chiefs fan today, yeah, it sucks. But you know what? You've had a great run. reset.
No one wants to hear your shit.
Right. You reset
like a Patriots fan.
For the back half of Mahomes' career. If you're the Lions, this window hasn't happened yet. You haven't gotten there yet. You didn't beat the 49ers 2 years ago. You got beat at home by the Commanders last year.
Won 15 games last year, and it meant nothing.
Right.
I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, 15 wins last year. We're sitting here, and now we have to pray. We have to win the rest of our games and hope certain things fall as they may, because we don't control it anymore.
That said,
Sucks.
I mean, you got to be. It's a tricky business because what did I say when the Packers traded for Micah Parsons? That was a dumb trade because he was going to get hurt, and he did. He's done. So this is what happened. You can't.
Couch is a genius.
Individual players mean almost nothing. You got to get depth, right? And that's the.
You and Spiro should just do a show. Two geniuses, man. You guys call it. You see it. What do you need me for? Just sitting out here blowing hard about bullshit.
Having said everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That loss yesterday sucked because it was in control yesterday, that game. The Lions had control. I mean, like I said, right before the half, it was glaring of like just letting them do whatever they want to get down and kicking that field goal, and then we're celebrating because it wasn't a touchdown. I mean, what a terrible feeling. We needed to score 4. Going into that game yesterday, I said it twice to whoever was listening, I mean, probably Treese, but I was like, we need to score 40. We have to score 40 somehow. And yes, we lead the league in points scored. Who gives a shit? It's not leading to wins.
Do you think they make the playoffs? Because I think they still got a real shot to do it.
Of course they have. They're still alive. Until they're eliminated like the Chiefs were yesterday, I'm still going to hold out hope. If you're asking me what I would bet on as a gambler, I would bet that they don't make the playoffs.
And the odds aren't, I mean, it's minus money they don't make the playoffs, but it's not that big.
But far beyond that, Graham, let's say they do back into the playoffs. Yeah. What do you think this team is as a playoff team?
Right, they're not going to win 3 road games.
I don't see anybody, right? I know with the Mahomes injury now that's that dragon slate, but they're in the AFC anyway. I'm talking, the NFC, some of the NFC teams where we saw what we matched up with the Rams and they kicked our ass, right?
So you're probably if you're the 7, say they get, or they may win the division. Who knows? Who knows what happens with the? I have to look at the math on that. But the Packers-Bears game, you actually, I think if you want the Lions to make it, you want the Packers to beat the Bears. You want the Bears to be. You want to be playing the Bears on January 4th.
Through that game too, the 1:00 game, the Browns-Bears game. Had that on the big TV because the wife's a Bears fan. Now their fantasy football team's dead, so she's a big Bears fan now, and I have to listen to that. And God bless Dominic, those guys. I'm so happy. By the way, tell me I'm wrong here. So DeAndre Swift scores in the Bears-Lions game. I'm not dead inside anymore. T goes in for a high five. I deny her. She was kind of bitter at that.
You denied your wife a high five?
Yeah. Because it was the Bears. She was trying to get me to high five her for a Bears touchdown.
It's your wife. You still high five?
No. I support my wife. I support. No. I support my wife in every other aspect of this. But I swear to God, I'm not budging on giving a high five for a Bears touchdown, especially against the Browns. I can't do it. I can't do it. The fact that she would ask me to do it is offensive. Is where you should be offended. Not at me not giving her a high five. I mean, I wasn't expecting you to have my back on this. I don't even know why I brought it up because I knew you should give her a high five. I'll leave her hanging. Well, it's the whole moral of it. She gives me high five during Lions games. Well, that's on her. I mean, I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. To me, if she no longer reciprocates in other ways, that's on you then.
You think I'm not? Wow, you think she's gonna pull some sexual favors or something like that? That's what you're getting at. Because you can't say it. What else were you talking about? She's not going to make me muffins, motherfucker? What are you talking about? I know what you're getting at. You know what? I got to say, if it's coming down to that, if we're going to start pulling that stuff, Jesus. I got nothing, actually. I got nothing to threaten her with. Damn it.
0.
Anyway, that was my first take. Go ahead.
All right. Let's talk some Michigan football here.
Ooh.
There has been, and I think
I'm not talking about Michigan.
If you listen to Friday's show, you can tell there's a lot of resentment from MSU fans toward the way MSU has been covered and the sense that Michigan has gotten a free pass over time and during scandals and other situations.
Welcome to the blue wall.
They are getting it now. Not a free pass. They are getting hit now from every side, locally, nationally, just brutal stuff, questioning of character, questioning of the legacy, questioning of everything. They are viewed as a mess, as corrupt, as undisciplined. The idea of the Michigan man is being viewed as somebody absent of character, or at least their character in question. And if you're not seeing that, I think your bubble is probably too tight because it is everywhere now. Now, this does not mean that Michigan State's always been covered fairly and Michigan is not. And I don't want to get in the whole,
let's get into it.
This is not going to be an entire blue wall conversation like it was Friday. But I think this is the moment of if you're an MSU fan, of reckoning for Michigan that you've always dreamed of. And if you're Michigan, this is rough, because this is not going anywhere. Like, this is not you got coaches who have been in trouble that it's all being brought to light. Like what Sherrone Moore did may have not had anything to do with Weiss or certain other things, but ultimately there are other sins that have sort of been washed away are now being brought back up. So that avalanche is sort of there. And this is going to be part of what Michigan is known for quite a while. Like, this is more than anything. I mean, after the Connor Stallion scandal, yes, there was some cheating sort of tied to them, but this is a different type of avalanche, and it's not going to go anywhere. And maybe it's fitting to some degree, because the original Michigan Man comment that really led to all the Michigan Man stuff was Bo Schembechler, right, with Bill Frieder, and Bo, we all know, may not be the perfect model character to follow. There's some questions he had, with Dr. Anderson and all that stuff. We'll never
he has a statue.
Know.
I mean, he must have been.
Does have a statue.
I mean, they don't give those away to people without morals. I mean,
yeah. Well, nonetheless, this is not leaving Michigan, and it'll be really interesting to watch the next few weeks and months and everything, because I think people sort of inside that program, people who care about the school, are going to realize that it's not just moving on to the next coach. It's not just Jeff Fish shows up and all of a sudden it's on to the next. Like, this is going to follow them a little bit of who they are and what they represent. And this is why I would be very careful about going back to somebody in their tree. I would be very quick to get rid of Ward Manuel as soon as you have a football coach, as soon as you have a president. I think you need as many ties to the Harbaugh, Sherrone Moore era gone as you can do. And that doesn't mean every person who's been in that department 30 years, who's worked for multiple coaches, or everybody is. That doesn't mean all that stuff. But it's the front-facing people. It's the people who made decisions that have led to this. And I think this one's going to stick more than anything else has. And I think people are coming to grips with that a little bit. And if they aren't, they're going to feel it over the next month or so. What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing at the whole thing. I'm sorry. I don't mean to, I'm not shitting at anybody. It's just fascinating, this whole thing. I was just thinking of John U. Bacon. I was thinking of Sherrone Moore and DMing these freaking OnlyFans models, trying to offer them season tickets for a 4-way, not a 3-way, a 4-way. Sorry, I was thinking about that. Sorry.
It's getting greedy. Yeah.
Right. And then, messaging her, as soon as you get out of jail, the first thing you do is to get pissed off at this OnlyFans model that you offered season tickets for, which she told you, yeah, I make money. Thank you. I don't need you. I mean, that has to be, man, shot to the ego when you try to hook up an OnlyFans model with season tickets. And anyway.
It is, yeah. It's going to be.
I was laughing also at the fact that you were like, this one's going to stick. If this doesn't stick, then holy shit, I don't know.
Because what's different about this one is the type of where the shots are coming from, who's writing about it, Wall Street Journal, CNN, you know what I mean, the columns that are coming. It's just different, and it's forced the hand of some of the media that you traditionally doesn't go all that hard on them. Like, the Free Press had a column, it was Jeff Seidel, that was a pretty tough column, but it came after some other people had sort of written that to give cover, in other words. And I'm not questioning Jeff Seidel's beliefs on this, and Jeff Seidel's not some Michigan man guy. He doesn't. But
sounds blue wallish. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, the blue wall is crumbling.
Welcome to the blue wall.
This may be the death of the blue wall. This may be it.
And I was thinking about Jed Fish and what he could be thinking, right? Like, now that DeBoer, I guess he's completely out of the mix. So if you're Jed Fish, obviously, I mean, to go to Michigan at a time like this, and then to go, man, all the resources I'm going to have, that's got to be wild.
Well, it's an interesting time to come in, because you have a chance in one sense to be a hero.
Sure.
Anytime you come in and things aren't great, and we talked about this with Pat Fitzgerald and the idea that things aren't great, so the next person gets the chance to, it's sometimes better, right? But the flip side is, what Pat Fitzgerald's advantage is he just had to talk about the football. Yeah, there was some off the field stuff, and there's the Mel Tucker stuff, there's the the probation stuff at Michigan State, but that was a coach removed. So you're replacing a coach with nobody. Character was not the issue with Jonathan Smith, right? Yeah. And so that allows you to come in and speak to things from a football perspective that need to be done and how you want to change it. And it's a great place to be a hero without having to deal with too much of the serious stuff. There's some stuff to deal with, whatever. But in Michigan's case, it's a dance. When you get that job, what are you going to say? Are you going to honor the greatness of that program? Are you going to honor Harbaugh? Are you going to honor Schembechler? Like, are you going to honor the guy who just hired you, maybe the AD who's going to be fired soon, who should be fired? Like, how do you navigate that? Do you go against it and say we need a fresh start here? This place is, this place is a mess. Well, that's not going to make a lot of people happy either. It is a tricky dance, but it'll also say a lot about the guts of that person, and also it'll say a lot about how that institution thinks about itself and whether they're actually having a reckoning or not when that new person is hired, and what the conversations are. What is your next take?
Back to the white elephant in the room. They don't want to deal with the white elephant in the room.
Well, just briefly on the Michigan State basketball team, I thought with the missed layups and the turnovers to win a game like that, I know Penn State's record may be a little bit phony with, what were they, 8-2 or whatever, but I think to go on the road like that with the missed layups and the turnovers and to get a win like that was really impressive. But I just have the question with the Wojcik thing. There's no way that they could have played Kur Teng in that scenario. I understand that he doesn't play point, but I think I would rather have Kur Teng rather than Wojcik.
Well,
it's like you do need I know that you have to figure things out when you're going to have Divine start at the 2, which I loved, by the way, was awesome. But those were the only, and Carson Cooper. I love Carson Cooper. I really think that he's elevated his game almost to a Tillman level. I'm not going to go there yet, but we're getting close. If he could just make a layup. I don't know if he just dunked the ball, Carson. I swear to God. Unbelievable, that guy. Really, really. His game's been unbelievable.
He's taking
just the missed layups have to drive. They don't just drive me crazy. They must drive Izzo crazy, too.
Taking massive steps. And I would always say to those guys, don't try a layup. Try a dunk and get taken
dunk
the foul.
That shit.
Yep. Because especially if you're a guy
from a guy that can't dunk.
Right.
I would dunk all the time.
If you don't have great touch, dunk. Either that or go after the dunk and draw the foul.
Right.
That would be my claim. I think the Denim Wojcik situation is he has been solid in situations late in halves. They've been playing him like the final 2 minutes of the half, and they've played him a couple spot minutes here and there, and he's been solid. A couple things happened. One, they were playing a team that was a bad matchup for him. Now, there are going to be other teams that are a bad matchup for him, and so you don't want to just make this your rotation but what Penn State does is they take chances on defense. They get after you. They get into you, and he just wasn't great in those situations. And so they're going to have to reevaluate that. I don't ultimately think starting Divine Ugochukwu at the 2 guard is perfect. Like I just don't, because the problem with it is it does a couple things that are challenging. One, it does make some tricky spots for the backup point guard situation, which is important that he plays well, and I didn't think he was as good in that role as he's been. And then you get a situation with Jeremy Fears getting in foul trouble, and Ugochukwu plays the final 7 minutes of the first half, plays 27 minutes, probably too many minutes for him to be entirely, efficient and clean all the time. That said, he hit huge free throws late, hit a huge 3 in the second. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't really good in a lot of ways offensively, and especially playing off the ball. They just need to think through how they want this to look. The other problem is it creates your other 2 guards, guys who are meant to be playing the 2, sort of coming in succession instead of a rotation, right? And now they get and it's going to eventually create some dissent on the team in that sense. Kur Teng actually I thought played okay. He shot pretty well. The guy who did not was Trey Ford. He played 4 minutes in the first half, was minus 11, and he didn't play in the second half. And not getting anything out of him hasn't helped. But Kur Teng they've got to figure out what this is going to be. And Jordan Scott has been really, really good, and he more than Ugochukwu fits the mold of your identity in certain ways. So do you start him? I'm curious to see how this plays out. I don't think they've figured it out. I think the Wojcik thing told them probably that because both halves things did not go great when he was in there for brief stretches. It's probably told them that this is not something because you can't lose that kind of momentum on the road. You can't take a 10-point lead on the road and give it right back. You just can't risk that. So you got to figure out what this is. And the challenge of the next few games is they do have a chance to play with some things and see rotations and see if they can get some guys in rhythm and playing well. But the Toledo and Oakland and Cornell are not going to. Those are mid-majors. You know who's a good mid-major player? Trey Fort. You know, all these guys can play at that level. So the question then becomes, you know, you're not going to be tested again where it gets tricky until that game at Nebraska. And what does that look like? Nebraska's a ranked team. They're like 21 in Ken Palm. This is the best team that Hoiberg has had down there. That's a road game January 2nd. Like, are you – like, they'll have a big crowd. That's a great arena. Like, that'll be a real look at what they figured out and who they have. I mean, these next 3 games give you something, and I'm not saying they're not important. And you want to continue to find if you could find consistency from Kurt Tang, that would solve a lot of things. If you could get Jordan Scott, he hits that 3 while being fouled, consistent, and then you just got to figure out your rotation. And I don't know yet if Divine Ugochukwu can be that consistent. He's not obviously a 23-point scorer per game, but if he's going to be a really consistent shooter, then you have to look at this too. And then how do you take him out quickly at like the 16:30 mark? And then, you know, as soon as Fears goes out, he's been rested for 2-3 minutes and he can come back in at the backup point. You've got to look at a number of things to work on that rotation, but he is your backup point guard. And you can't forget that if you're Michigan State. And they've been really good. They've been better most days than they were on Saturday without starting Divine Ugochukwu, who had, you know, obviously 23 points and made all 5 threes. They've been better most days not doing what they did collectively. And so that's something they've absolutely got to keep in mind.
So is this a good problem for Tom Izzo to have, or is this a bad? I can't tell what. It sounds like it's a bad problem for Izzo to have a little bit because you just don't know what Kurt Tang is going to be, right?
Well, the problem is it's a good and bad one in this sense. The Ugochukwu has wound up being a really good get as a recruit, a guy who played like the best of Trey Fort the other day to a T. Not Trey Fort, the best of Trey Holloman to a T. That's outstanding. That's good. That's good that worked out. Trey Ford has not worked out as well to this point. And then Kurt Tang has had moments and not moments, and they were hoping he thought he was going to be the starting shooting guard. Jordan Scott's been better than they expected. So there are elements that are better and worse. The problem is you just got to figure out who you are, who you're going to roll with, and who you can count on. And they're not there yet. There have been Michigan State basketball seasons far later than this that have found themselves. But this team has got an identity in certain ways that if they could just figure out that, they could roll. And that's why you want to figure out. That's why there should be urgency. Like, they can compete for a Big Ten title if they can figure out that piece. They can compete for a top couple seed in the NCAA tournament if they can figure out that piece. And so that's why it's important to know where it's coming game in and game out. And they just don't have that yet. And that's why you wind up with, I would be surprised if Divine Ugochukwu is their starting shooting guard in February and March. I think his role is too important elsewhere. He'll play a lot at shooting guard, but you got to have that flexibility where if you're not playing him more than 20 minutes or so, and if Fears gets in foul trouble, you can lean on him for a 5 or 7 minute stretch and have him play well.
Why don't you write something? Huh? Why don't you write something?
Are you ready to dig into these hot takes? You got more?
I don't. That's about all I have.
All right, let's dig in. Yeah.
All right, Eric Schultz up first. If it's true that Izzo didn't bring in a real 2-guard because it would have forced Kurt Tang to transfer, that means he needs to be a true Big Ten starting 2-guard. If this team comes up short because they lack one of those, Tang should be seen as the reason why. And since he's a pro, it's not unfair to say that.
I don't disagree. There is a couple things are being said here that are important. One, that these guys are now paid well, paid better than some of the assistant coaches. That is, they're open to a different level of criticism. Doesn't mean you don't have to be fair to them. Doesn't mean you don't have to treat them like humans. Doesn't mean they're completely the same as an NBA pro, but they are pros. And so the reason they're in, if a kid's, at 20 years old and he's playing on the, he's playing tennis at Wimbledon, he's a pro. Just because your pro league is not the top pro league does not mean you're not a pro if you're getting paid the way these guys are. So it does change the conversation slightly. I think one of the things that's allowed Izzo to create the culture that's allowed him to have the teams he's had the last couple years is that he doesn't recruit over people, is that he believes in his guys. There is a risk in that. And the risk is if you do stick with a guy instead of replacing them and they don't pan out and you can get burned. And so there is some pressure on Kurtang. Now, he's a true sophomore. It's not like his career is baked in terms of whatever he's going to be. But they do need more from him. He was okay the other night. They didn't play him a ton. I think defensively he's got some shortcomings that are he's never going to be a great defensive player, but he's got to be an attentive one. He's got to work on that. And then he's got to be a consistent shooter. I think he can still be a productive player. And they don't want to – I wouldn't give up on them because in some ways having Kurtang – like, to me, having Kurtang as your starting shooting guard in a lot of ways is still your cleanest thing. It doesn't mean you're finishing with them. A lot of times I would go with Jordan Scott still. But when you try to keep you're trying to have a productive roster, you're trying to find out if Kurtang's playing well, you're trying to keep guys happy and sort of a good chemistry within the team. Kurtang starting and having some success allows you to have baked-in minutes for him. It allows you to find out early in games if he's playing well, and if he can consistently do that, then you just know he's part of their rotation doing that. And if matchups dictate that Jordan Scott is the better down the stretch, you do that. I'm not saying they were playing Divine Ugochukwu with the at shooting guard a fair bit before this Penn State game, so that's going to remain, and you can expand that a little bit. The Trey Fort piece will be interesting because to this point, like a really athletic guy who, like in a matchup against Toledo or Oakland, I think you may have some moments that make you go, boy, that there it is. I'm not sure at the high major level that we've seen the potential for him to raise his game with consistency. Now, maybe it still happens. Maybe this is a transition for him. It wasn't great at Mississippi State a couple years ago, but maybe this is something he figures out as he plays more Big Ten games and other things. I'm not saying you completely give up on him either. But the Kurtang piece of it, I think, is more important.
Dominic, next, number one, Friday's show was legendary. If I had a bazooka to my junk, I would say my favorite thing was Couch stammering about Bitch album for what seemed like 47 minutes, and Jason replies, "You can say it. He sucks. The dude sucks." I mean, he does. 2, Wojo getting hammered and trying to shame MSU fans late Friday night really gives credence to that whole blue curtain thing. You realize, Couch, that's the equivalent of saying my whoring ex was merely sex positive. 3, Spiro doing a collab with Pablo Torre and bringing down Michigan's football problem will cause me to spend so much money at Cask & Company that there will be a champagne room. Also, Jason gets finder's fee royalties for the Pablo Torre thing. He's comped for the cologne room. Ooh, the cologne room. Bonus, I would love to know if Rexroad or Solari ever text Graham asking, who is that freak stalker Dominic guy? It's a badge of honor.
I think they know you.
Graham.
You come from legendary stock, Dominic, right?
You come from legendary stock, yes.
So you're
it's true.
You are well known, sir. No, and there's never been I can't say there's never been a complaint, but not from those guys ever. So
you want to go to number 2 or?
Wojo getting hammered.
Did he announce he was hammered?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Wojo was just defending himself. And
5 years ago, you just pretty much planned on if it's a Friday night or whatever.
I don't. I'm sure some of these people have been a little tipsy when they've actually given a tweeted. I mean, I know I have been. I mean, some of my worst tweets involve whiskey, or involve wine or something. Or
Couch after dark.
That's my wife goes to bed early. Hallmark movie ends. I'm there with a glass of whiskey.
Shift over.
I see something on Twitter that fires me up. Boom. Now I'm in.
Matt Gates.
There we go.
Maybe the basketball team's ineptitude was by design and signals some desperation. Had they kept Divine as backup point guard, they would have coasted to a win. Moving him to the 2 is a warning to everybody who should be playing the 2.
I think that's right, and I think this may be, they worked on it last week, a little bit intentional by Izzo on that front. Like, I think he's openly said they are not where they need to be at that position, that they are struggling at that position, and we're all watching them struggle at that position from time to time, depending on the player in the game. And I don't think he wants Divine Ugochukwu to be his shooting guard. Because it does so many things that are tricky. Obviously, the backup point guard thing, it relegates a a couple other guys to being very small roles and just sort of,
But if you can guarantee that he does that every game, he scores 23 points a game, right? Or say 20 points a game, you'd keep him at the 2 guard.
Well, sure, but
right?
that's not going to happen. But if Izzo,
then it's easier to not have him at the 2 guard, I think.
Correct, and he'll obviously be at the 2 after that game on Tuesday against Toledo, and my guess is he'll be there Saturday against Oakland, and then we'll see what they do when they come back after Christmas, and then at Nebraska. I think it is one of those things where you're telling those guys, I have other options. It's not just you guys. It's not even just Jordan Scott playing over you. We got this other guy who's playing pretty well and deserves a shot. And so it is. Now, whether those guys are capable of responding, because the challenge with this is it's not like I think Kurtang is like, I'm just kind of lazy. I haven't been trying. I thought this was mine. Like, Kurtang is working his ass off. The question is whether he's good enough and ready to do this, and that's what we don't know. I don't know if there is an ideal answer. I still think ultimately Jordan Scott, 25-ish minutes a game, 20-plus minutes a game, being that guy who fits into your defensive identity, if he can hit shots, is probably your best option. The challenge with that, though, is one of the things Ugochukwu gives you that they don't have a lot of is secondary ball handling, and I think that's really, really important. And that's another element, though. That the problem right now for Kurtang and the problem right now for Trey Fort is they don't give you anything better than any of the other guys. Kurtang is, you can say he's a pure shooter, and if he was shooting at a really high clip, you'd say, well, there you go. And he did hit his shots on Saturday. But, Divine Ugochukwu is hitting his shots, and he's gives you secondary ball handling. Jordan Scott gives you a feistiness, aggressiveness, defensively, length, all that stuff, and he's hitting shots at an okay-ish clip. But the other guys aren't doing it at anything. But they don't give you anything better than the other guys right now. And both Divine and Jordan Scott have a skill that's very, very distinct to them and what they offer. And so those other guys got to do the other things better than what Ugochukwu and Scott do.
Kurt Wisniewski next. Number 1, it was good to see the MSU basketball team got out a win at Penn State. It's always good to see a team rebound after a tough game. 2, Brad Holmes and Scott Harris should go have lunch to discuss their stubbornness to improve their teams for the fans of Detroit sports. And 3, Mr. Brightside is perfect for Michigan football.
There's a lot of Brad Holmes and Scott Harris being lumped together these days.
Yeah,
they feel
makes
like
sense,
one
right?
person. Yeah, there is, and part of it is
Scott Harris is way worse. I think.
100%.
I really do.
Yeah,
I mean the free agency thing with Brad Holmes, but NFL's a different animal than Major League Baseball.
Who has been more accessible in terms of explaining their rationale for things between the two of them?
Well, Harris only goes on, softball interviews level shit. But I don't know where does Holmes goes on 97.1, I think, once a season.
Okay.
So I think they're both the same way in that aspect too, right? Unless someone could tell me about where Brad Holmes talks every week or something.
And so both of these guys are failing in this department. They don't understand that if you make yourself more accessible, if you answer a tough question, and you should be able to answer a tough question. These are big jobs. You should be able to communicate this stuff.
Right.
It's not like you should, it's not like you're trying to do stuff poorly. So just be able to explain why you're doing things. They have to understand that people will like them so much more. It's not hard to once every month and a half, once every 2 months, make yourself available and to a number of either a number of media folks, a select group of media folks, a single decent interview. And then if you're the people doing these interviews, I don't care if you're a radio station, which is, known for, being on the
carrying
team,
the games,
being on the team, so to speak, right?
Well,
yeah.
I don't blame those guys on 97.1 that you can't go at Brad Holmes like you would. I mean, I would have Jeff Rieger, who's on 97.1. I know Jeff Rieger, and he would definitely ask the questions the fans want to be asked. And he does a show on there, but there's no way they're going to let you, Rieger interview him. So,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. You don't want to be hit with these hard-ass questions, but like you said, I think it can be asked in a way or talked about in a way where we're just asking questions.
And if you don't come back defensively, like this is one area Jonathan Smith did really well. Now, it didn't save him because he was losing. These other two guys aren't losing, right? They're just frustrating because they don't feel like they're winning to the nth degree.
Yeah.
But one of the things Jonathan Smith did really well was he was not defensive at all. And what I'm saying is, if you're and I haven't heard Brad Holmes be that defensive. I've heard it from Scott Harris though a little bit, where he gets a little.
He got a little
defensive.
Holmes got defensive on the Hutchinson thing last year. I think of why aren't you making a trade and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, you can answer
why aren't
that
you
stuff.
Getting Hutchinson help or something like that.
Like you can answer that stuff without sounding defensive, and that's really key because people want to be on your side. Nobody wants to hate you. These are fans of your team. And in both cases with these guys, the one thing they have going is the Tigers are winning at levels they hadn't in quite a while, and the Lions are winning.
Does it feel like winning? It feels like we're just wasting time. Like, yes, we're making the playoffs, but we blew a fucking monumental lead in the Central. Like, it doesn't. I know you say that, that they're winning more than ever, but it doesn't feel that way sometimes. Because you're watching, like a franchise like the Philadelphia Eagles. They show you how to win a Super Bowl, and you have to go out and make moves like that to win a Super Bowl when your team is, ravaged with injuries and the guy's not doing it.
So that's a fair question, and one he ought to be able to answer. You ought to be able to say, look, look what the Philadelphia Eagles did. Why aren't you making those sort of moves? What's the rationale behind sort of standing pat much more instead of going for it? And
we have our guys, and it's a next man up mentality. We are grit kind of guys,
right.
and
you can't say that.
We bring in our guys, and we have to sometimes wait for those guys to come through, like Marcus Davenport. Fucking how many?
That's frustrating.
I hate sports.
Oh my god! I'm telling you what. If listening to us or listening to Brad Holmes and
lack thereof,
get yourself a Muskox flannel, right? Maybe send them one. Maybe that's all that Brad Holmes and Scott Harris need is the warmth.
I mean, Harris
comfort.
would look good in a flannel.
Absolutely.
I mean, as much as I think he looks like a penis sometimes, but
Yeah, if you look like, if you know somebody in your life who looks like a penis, acts like a penis, get them a Muskox flannel. They will be much less like a penis. And it's the comfort and quality. If you expect more from your flannels than you have, like I'm telling you, there's a difference to them. And if you've never bought one, give one a shot. I'm telling you right now, there's a difference to it in how you look. If you got 7 chins, get it down to 5 chins. A Muskox flannel will do it. Go Muskox.com. The promo code Peacock for $15 off flannel purchase for Couch and the Rube listeners. And make sure if you want it in time for Christmas that you do it by noon on this Wednesday, December 17th. Go Muskox.com.
Spartan 18770. In a span of 2 weeks, MSU and Michigan have drastically shifted juxtapositions in the direction of each other's football programs. Where one was seemingly wandering aimlessly with uncertainty, the other stood on a solid foundation. Now it appears to be the opposite. Karma's a bitch. Bake take. If anything, this Michigan State basketball team needs to lose a couple of road games by double digits. No opponent is going to lay down just because of your high ranking. It's best that they learn this lesson early.
So in some ways, playing Penn State when they did was good because like Penn State is a team that's young, that's going to get demoralized, I think, at some point in the Big Ten. They do have a good coach, so we'll see. But and you get them in the wrong night in February, they're going to get blown out. You get them on the road, like what we saw with Indiana where a team gets hot, they're not going to have an answer for that, and they get blown out. But they're not devoid of talent. And if they're home and they've got energy and you let them stick around, they've got some guys with skill they're not like it's not just some awful team that you can. And so for Michigan State, there are lessons in this. For Izzo, there are lessons in this. Like, whatever lineup you put in there when you blew that 10-point lead, and for the players that were in there, like you have to value possessions, value leads. And sometimes, and coaches I don't think do this enough. Some coaches don't call timeouts when things are going well. They save them for when things are going bad, and I get the reasons for that. But I think there are times where coaches, and I'm not saying you have to do it every time you're up 10, but Michigan State had been down for 39-36. They come out, they take control of the game, they're up 9 or 10, and you're about to go through some rotation changes and all that didn't work in the first half. Not a bad time to just tell guys, hey, like right now, let's get this to 14-15. Like
Don't
play
coach
this
my
like it's
team.
0. Right? You haven't done anything yet. Like that sort of reminder, I don't think coaches do enough.
Jarrett next. Number 1, the play of Cohen Carr solves all of this team's problems. And we will see a huge jump from him starting at Nebraska. And 2, Graham, urgent question on behalf of my wife. What's your opinion of an Alpine holiday with Ashley Williams on Hallmark? It premiered November 29th.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm usually a pretty good fan of Ashley Williams. She was she's the sister of Kimberly Williams. By the
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah.
How is she doing?
Yeah, she's doing well.
Okay, good.
Pete Sampras' ex-wife. I think she's married to Chesney or one of the country stars, right? Anyway.
It's not right, but yeah, go ahead.
Is it not right? Did I get that wrong?
Yeah.
Who's she married to?
Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley. Chesney Paisley.
Don't ask me why I know that.
There you go.
I know celebrity news.
Yeah, I watched this on the treadmill the other night. It was okay. It's a different type of movie because it wasn't as much romance as it was a sisters bonding thing. I'll say this for it. It kept me going on the treadmill for the most part, and that's really my litmus test. If I'm like, I can't, there are a lot of the ones.
Why? Because it gave you a rod? Like, what does that mean?
No,
it gives you some sort of like
it's well written enough.
Emotional attachment, so you keep walking.
Correct. That's it.
It's such a weird human being, dude.
Sorry,
that's so wild.
It's not the best. It's not the worst.
So if it was a shitty Hallmark movie, that you just be like, oh, starting to slow down.
No, I just go to something else. I watch something else. Yeah.
The remote's all the way over there. By the way, did you have cheese on yourself while you were watching the Penn State game at home there?
Just
I saw
before
the
it.
tweet. What happened?
Yeah,
was that while you were on the treadmill or after?
No, I was sitting at home. I don't know what I ate, but it was all over my muskox flannel.
Was it like liquid cheese?
So we had
sliced cheese.
Yeah, no. We had something with melted cheese, and I had it was like a sandwich that was like an Italian sub with melted cheese on it.
Oh my god!
And I got a little on my muskox.
You put melted cheese on an Italian sub?
Well, it was left over, and I heated it up a little bit. So, yeah, it was good.
Oh my god! My grandma and Grandpa Panetta are rolling over in their grave.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah. So
that is the fattest thing I've ever heard, dude. Liquid cheese on an Italian sub.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Kenshu, Divine, Ugochukwu, no relation. Has me forgetting all about Trey Holloman.
There are some similar. I mean, in terms of what he gave him, it was the ideal Trey Holloman role, right? We saw Holloman go 5 for 5 for threes at Michigan last year, or at least make 5 threes. I don't think it's 5 for 5, but and we've seen him go fluidly between the two guard spots. I think Trey Holloman was still better at going back and forth between them than Ugochukwu, but he was terrific in a lot of ways, and at least offensively,
Trey's better defensively.
Correct,
right?
Yeah,
Not
more
saying
consistent.
Ugo can't get there, but
more consistent defensively. Yeah.
Sparty Barb with the hottest take. Hold Michigan accountable for their lies, cover-ups, and felonies by kicking them out of the Big Ten. Redistribute their shares of media money among the remaining Big Ten schools and bring Notre Dame into the conference. If this were to happen, it would be a true Christmas miracle.
Talk about a Hallmark movie. This would be
Sparty Barb story. I'd watch that.
Notre Dame was thrilled to replace Michigan. If in a perfect world, this is the Big Ten is not going to hold Michigan accountable for shit. I mean, unless there's new developments with something that happened beyond. It'll be interesting to see what happens in these investigations. I don't think any internal investigation by a law firm that they've used before is going to show anything that scorches the brand. It will get rid of people they're willing to get rid of. And maybe there'll be something really embarrassing. But the idea
is the law firm Savitt and Savitt.
I mean, Eli and Eli. Man, I tell you, that guy. There's a lesson because I think he wants a political career here. I don't even know if it wouldn't even matter what side of the aisle you're on or whatever. Like, there are so many people in the state who just won't ever vote for him. Like, you're gonna have to leave the state if you want to have a political career statewide, I think.
MCV, Fernando Mendoza may not be the Heisman winner everybody wanted, but he's the one the sport needed. And bonus, college football players signing a contract extension when they don't have to honor the contract is an insult to our intelligence. You could say that about college football, I think. It's an insult to our intelligence.
It depends on,
Sometimes.
you are seeing a couple situations where there's, Georgia's suing a guy. You are seeing, we'll see what happens to these, what the language of these contracts are. I don't know that some of these contracts won't have to be honored. I think the language in them will change, and people can say, well, players have all the leverage and they won't sign that. I don't. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Fernando Mendoza speaking to his mother who has MS and that whole. That was.
I have a part of his speech.
Yeah.
What did we tell you? What did we tell you? What did we tell you? Come here and take it.
They cut it out in post. You didn't see it live.
Go!
Dude, he is full Tony Dombrowski. How is he a real person? I don't remember 20-year-olds talking like that. Like, it's so crazy.
What if you had won the
Heisman?
Heisman?
Talking right into the camera. It's so weird.
If you had won the Heisman at 20, what would have you said?
I'd be that Diego Pavia kid. I'd be that, but not an asshole. I'd be,
that kid.
I'd be a mix of Diego Pavia and Deion Sanders probably, and I'd be dead.
When's the first time you ever spoke in public? Had to do a public speaking thing?
Oh, it was when my dad got married when I was 16, and no one told me. Like, they got married in a courthouse, and then we had like a dinner, whatever. It was kind of a white trash vibe. Anyway, so we were on the way back, and my grandpa looks over, and he's like, you're going to have to make a speech, right? Because I was like the best man or something. Because I held the ring, and I was so petrified. I was so nervous.
How did it go?
It was terrible. I couldn't even. Something about, I hope you guys live a long, lasting life. Like, I think it probably was about 10 seconds long. I hated it. It was like when you have to do it in school and you have to go in front of people. I would be up like 48 hours like a fucking meth head.
So in that case, it was better that
so the anxiety, because you can't, like, nowadays, you could tell everybody about your anxiety, but back then, dude, you tell your dad, like, Dad, I'm anxious about having to say this in front of the whole class tomorrow. I'd be like, shut up.
So it's probably better
I had blacktop roofs when I was your age or some shit like that. Get out there.
Yeah. So better that you didn't know way ahead of time, in other words, because it would have been even worse if you'd known like 3 days ahead of time.
True.
Yeah.
I did appreciate it after the fact, just not in the moment when you're driving down the street and all of a sudden.
Did people pat you on the head and say good speech even though it wasn't?
I don't recall.
Yeah. Just
I think I have a picture of it somewhere of me standing up in front of people. I think I still have the picture. Nerve-wracking.
Well, if you want to be at a party where other people will be in front of the room and not you, Midtown Brewing Company has some cool stuff going on this week and right after Christmas as well. The next couple weeks, December 20th, which is what are we on? Friday? No, it doesn't.
Jesus, 15th. It's the 15th today.
Right, but what day is December 20th? That'd be Saturday.
It's 5 days from now.
It'd be Saturday night. Saturday night.
5 days from Christmas at that point.
Good live read. We'll fix that in post. Midtown Brewing Company.
Wrong one.
DeWitt's Gwen Doffler. Night of acoustic easy listening. God dang it. Let's try this again. Anyway, live music specials, $2 off. Build your own burger.
DeWitt's own.
$3 shorts. Oh, man. Beer specials. Great food. Great time. I really apologize for that. But the party that actually probably interests me most is December 27th, a week later, December 27th, which is a Saturday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., live music with Matthew Shannon and an ugly sweater night at Midtown Brewing Company. I would either ugly sweater or just wear a muskox flannel, whatever you feel most comfortable in. That's downtown Lansing, 402 South Washington Avenue. If it's a cool vibe, great food, great drinks, kind of a fun festive place to be. And that ugly sweater night on December 27th, 7 to 9, 6 to 11 p.m.
Graham, tell the people where DeWitt is.
It's north of Lansing. It's north of the hood.
Matt C. next. Oh, man. Number 1, Lions fans need to stop glazing Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Neither of them have proven to be able to accomplish anything without Ben Johnson. In 5 years, they have 2 playoff wins. Not good enough. 2, Michigan is the coked-out rich kid who gets away with everything because who their dad is. Seriously, they are running their own internal investigation for misconduct. I'm sure the findings will be Ward deserves a Nobel Prize.
That would be amazing if they tried to turn that way. Okay, the glazing of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, they're not. I think people are getting frustrated. But the other thing I think everybody's also aware of is this is still the greatest era of Lions football.
Right.
And so it's not like the answer is fire somebody. You know, what is the response? You're not going to fire Brad Holmes. He's brought you a pretty good roster.
Matt C's not wrong.
Right.
I mean, I don't know who glazes Dan. I mean, I think I do. I don't know because I love Dan Campbell. I want him to stick around. And I do love Brad Holmes. I wish he would change his ways, certain ways. And I think the glazing with Brad Holmes has stopped way more than Dan Campbell's, I believe. But, you know, I mean, I can understand where he's coming from.
I think this will be a really interesting offseason in terms of who they draft, who they sign, who Dan Campbell brings in as a coordinator. Does Brad Holmes bring in somebody to help him? I mean, because that is the true sign of leadership. When you realize yourself, like, man, I have missed here and here. Why did that happen?
Yeah.
Can I bring somebody else in to make that not happen?
Ben Chulik next. I hate to say it, but if the Lions are going to contend for a Super Bowl next year, it would be better to lose a couple more games down the stretch. easier 2026 schedule, and a higher draft pick in each round. The problem is Holmes' last 2 drafts have been horrendous.
Would you rather?
But we can honestly say the last 2 drafts have been horrendous. We can use that word.
That's too much.
Isn't it too soon?
Yeah, it's not.
To say that these guys are terrible already the past 2 drafts. I'm not saying it's trending toward that, Ben. And to his first part, I could okay. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, here's a
I just don't.
you.
We talked about it earlier at the start of the show. It's like I don't think this team is going to do anything in the playoffs. So, but I'm not going to root against my team to lose games. I don't know. You know,
and they're just intriguing enough. That you
because you have Goff and you have Jahmyr Gibbs.
You don't want
to protect the offensive line. Took some shit, I guess, for the second half. I get that, but in the first half, they were giving Goff time to throw. We were moving the ball down the field, and it just seemed like we were trying to run a little too much.
You don't want to waste years of Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's you don't want to waste years of anybody.
Yeah, right.
What are you talking about here? I mean, my life. I mean, Jesus, I'm almost 50 here.
You're not
46. Yeah. Spartan Frank, number 1, saying Dan Campbell is an elite head coach and Dan can't both be the CEO/decision maker and call plays cannot both be true. Ben Johnson doing it in year 1. Bonus, Graham, if scum was in the playoff, does the Moore scandal even make it out of Schembechler Hall?
It would have been fascinating if the timing of all this. I don't think this is something that would have been avoided. The timing of the young woman coming forward, I don't know if that changes at all. But I think if that happened, it would. I mean, obviously, if this was breaking just before the playoff, it would have been. It's a good question. It's a good question how it would have looked. I think ultimately it would have come out. Ben Johnson's having a great year 1. He is, and things have gone well. I think the Bears have found momentum and all that. Dan Campbell has had moments, elite moments, as many as Ben Johnson's had as a head coach, and then some. So let's see Ben Johnson continue it. Let's see Ben Johnson have to do drafts and
play
build
a tough schedule.
Yeah, and right. The glazing of Ben Johnson should not happen either.
What a word. See, Tullis is Lord next. Not hearing those Jared Goff chants like I used to. Whatever.
Well, I heard him actually in the.
Listen to this one.
Gita, Jared Goff.
Goff isn't really the problem here.
He's not the problem. I mean, he makes $15 million too much, but he's not the problem.
All these guys do.
Yeah. And that's a conversation he should have. I mean, he should.
Although he should, if you see some of the quarterbacks that were in yesterday. I don't know how the NFL is going to sit there and promote some of these games that are going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks.
The Christmas Day slate,
the injuries.
It's brutal.
Netflix is going, man, we made a mistake signing up for these games at the end of the season.
Yeah. The end of the season, the NFL can be. I mean, the playoffs are amazing.
Can you gamble? Like that's the thing. Like even as a gambler, like I'm sorry if there's nothing tied to it. I have a hard time the game will be on in the house, but I mean, to sit there and pay attention to a 4-hour game.
And I don't think enough games are flexed with gambling in mind. Like Miami versus Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football, a game that you just have no idea. So it's untouchable as a game to gamble on. So it shouldn't be on Monday Night Football because the whole point of Monday Night Football was to make back what you lost all weekend. It's the entire point of Monday Night Football. And so you shouldn't have a game you can't gamble on.
The whole point of the NFL.
You got to flex out of games you can't gamble on entirely. And then Seattle, maybe don't be a complete ass. And
by the way, shout out to Phillip Rivers for not passing away yesterday. Everybody all week long, like freaking Ryan Clark and everybody's like, oh, this is an injustice. He's going to die out. It's like, what the fuck? Is he going to die out there? So now I got to tune in to see if he's going to pass away now.
I've got to say,
who's rooting for that?
This past weekend, you know how I always say there are theme weekends in sports where things are like, I mean, it started with soccer. I mean, it was a brutal weekend for me on the gambling front in that sense because it was Arsenal and Bayern Munich. Nobody made things easy against, and PSG were all playing the worst teams in their league. And they barely won or tied.
The worst sport.
And then Michigan State basketball, like all that's tied. There's something in the air. Like Michigan State, Penn State had something to do with Arsenal Wolves. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but when games don't go as like one of these weekends, and then as soon as that happened, I was like, make sure you don't have too much on Seattle because that's going to get something weird's going to happen with that. And sure enough, it did.
Professor, the Lions are not dominant on the offensive line and are bottom 10 in the league on the defensive line. Hutch and McNeil are non-factors. I'm hoping this is just Hutch, what? H blank TH. I don't know what you're saying. Product of coming back from injury, because if not, the Lions just gave a ton of money to dudes who aren't impact players. I don't know. He made an impact yesterday, Hutch did. intercepted a Stafford ball, had a sack. I get it. Like
they need help there. Where would be your number one? Like, say they're going to draft one real difference maker. Where would you put
offensive line?
Okay, yeah.
You know, a guard, a center. I mean, Glasgow is fucking terrible. I don't. It's tough to pile on the guy because I don't know. He didn't know Ragnow was going to retire, but my God,
it's tough too.
The guy
because
is just so bad, and we knew it last year.
And I agree with you in this sense too. To me, the Lions are best when their identity is that offensive line and be able to run the football.
We were in Lambeau a couple years ago, and we ran the ball down their throat, and they had no chance to beat it.
Makes your defense okay.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, I want a top elite defense too, but I'm saying if you're going to ask me, just manhandle it. We have the position guys that we need in place. We just need those guys up front.
And every corner you've ever drafted, from Brian Westbrook way back when, and Terry Fair, and all these guys get hurt or they suck. Okay, like don't draft corners high. Like just don't do that. Like you want depth.
Don't listen
to
Matt Millen.
Don't listen to Matt Millen. Yeah, he's still alive, Matt Millen. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Professor, the Lions are not dominant. Did I read that? Did I read this? Yes. Yeah. Spartan Dog 97. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are out of goodwill. John Morton should be fired, and every single resource available should be spent on redoing the secondary and adding an actual second pass rusher. Not to mention probably needing to replace Decker. That's another guy that might retire after this year. I mean, Jesus.
And well, they need to be prepared in case he decides in July.
No, we'll wait.
Yeah.
Then we'll put out a tweet. He's back.
Yeah. But again, at $55 million, they don't need all these things. Jared Goff has to be great. Like that. Sorry, at $55 million, he has to be great, or that needs to be a question that's asked all the time. Why weren't you good enough?
Any of those teams I watched yesterday with the shittiest quarterbacks would totally love to pay Jared Goff. I mean, the salary cap is going to dictate. Like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I don't know why you all you harp on the Goff thing.
Because he's making too much money.
All right. Bob tweets. Best take. Jonathan Smith would take the OC job if offered and would be perfect for the job. Baked. The Lions will still make the playoffs.
I think they might. I think they will. I do. Or at least I think.
I hope you're right.
I think the Lions are going to play the Bears. I don't know if they win the game, but I think the Lions are going to play the Bears on that weekend of January 4th. I don't know if we have the time yet for that, but I think they're going to play with the playoffs still. If they win the game, they go. I don't know if they win the game, but I think, in other words, an extra round, so to speak, and it's on the road too. So it's essentially 4 rounds to get to the Super Bowl for the Lions, and actually you can say 6 rounds because they won the next 2 as well. 6 rounds for the Lions.
See, if you would have just stopped talking, it would have been really helpful. We build momentum.
That's exactly
Lions fans would have some excitement. But now that you put it that way at the end,
that's what my wife says all the time. If you just would have stopped talking, it would have been helpful.
C-Dubs 91. Best. The Lions win out, Bears lose out, and Packers lose 2 out of 3, helping the Lions reclaim the North. Bonus. Most embarrassing thing I saw this weekend. The leader of our country being proud of himself for tossing a coin like a cornhole beanbag. Dude, I saw that. And it was absolutely the palm up. Oh, man.
I would say
I was doing that in the living room. I was like, huh.
I would say his.
And then he pointed at the coin. That was the fucking best part. Oh, anyway.
His tweet or truth, whatever he calls it, about Rob Reiner and his wife's passing was maybe the worst. He topped it pretty quickly with the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
If you thought a eulogy from Graham Couch sometimes is really bad, I mean, Trump kicked you out of the way. Said, hold this.
It's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Hold this dildo, asshole. And then he did his Rob Reiner.
Oh my God!
Well, it used to be good movies. I mean, it's just, oh man. It's unbelievable. Chris, the Lions win out and take the NFC North, only to lose the first game to the Seahawks. Meanwhile, the Bears back into the playoffs and upset the Eagles. Baked. It's extremely odd to name a menu item after a random secretary. Some investigative journalist should figure out why the brown jug did that. See page Shivers cauliflower gluten-free 12-inch pizza.
Yeah, he showed me the menu. I don't know if it's the same page here. I don't know. It's interesting. It's Brent. I don't know. It's interesting.
So he sent you evidence. Go with the story.
It's a video,
man.
yeah.
Go with the story.
Yeah.
Anyway. Munfield Keg. 2025 was a tough year for me with an unexpected career change and other life happenings. Thanks, guys, and the whole Couch in the Rube community for keeping me entertained and laughing through some long walks and drives. 2026 is already looking better.
Appreciate you, Munfield Keg, and glad to hear it's better. We'll try and do a better show, too.
That's the taint.
Let's go green, go God.
Yeah, means a lot, and glad we can keep you laughing or somewhat entertained. Let's Let's take a really quick break. We come back, more of your takes. Couch in the Rube, our Monday show presented by Muskox Quality Flannels.
Where else can you cheer on your team, enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi, sip on handcrafted cocktails, or one of 46 beers on tap? Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with one awesome blended modern American-Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch in the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at gomuskox.com, where Couch in the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com.
Hey, so you should totally hit that like button and subscribe to Couch in the Rube on YouTube. Seriously though, if you don't, Santa's literally gonna skip my house this year. And Graham Couch? Yeah, he's threatening to catnap my precious kitty. So come on, help a girl out.
Couch in the Rube, our Monday afternoon show presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannel. Just saw one of our listeners, Chris Husband, just purchased his first Muskox flannel. You can join Chris.
What's his husband's name?
His name is Chris Husband.
Oh.
Not Chris's husband. It's Chris Husband.
Gotcha.
Is the name.
You gave his full name out? Where does he work?
Well, no, but it's on Twitter. This is his Twitter handle. Maybe his name's maybe his name's Sherrone Moore, and this is just it's totally different.
Too soon. Come on.
But you can join Chris in buying a Muskox flannel for yourself and enjoying the comfort and quality, and just expecting more from your flannel. Or buy one for somebody you care about in your life, especially if you got like a father-in-law, you're tough to please. Somebody that's like I'm telling you that Jason will tell you right now. This is the way to their heart, the way to their respect is with a Muskox flannel. Go muskox.com, and Peacock is the promo code for $15 off for Couch and the Rube listeners. And noon Wednesday the 17th, the deadline to make sure you have it under the tree.
Scotty Green's El Camino next. That Penn State win was a brutal watch. Carr seems really limited, still in the half court. Cooper is terrible finishing around the basket and way too many turnovers. Just the kind of game Izzo wants to have their attention before the new year. Oh, and thank you, Ugochukwu. Ugo. Bonus, the length of time it's taking to hire the offensive coordinator is actually encouraging. Fitzgerald has to get this right. Interview everyone interesting. Land on the best and throw them a bag. And baked. Norm is greater than Spot. I don't know, man.
I like Norm. Norm's
Both
a good-looking
cats.
cat. Yeah, it's hard to know. Spot actually came around yesterday for the first time in a few days. With the cold, I was thinking, they're not letting him out, but Spot was clearly stir crazy.
They let him out in this cold-ass weather. Wasn't yesterday the coldest
he was just
day of the year?
He was like the happiest cat. He came over. We let him in for a little while, and then we saw him running around the block.
Should we call the Humane Society? What is happening here? You let a cat out on the coldest day of the year.
Nobody was making him outside.
I was told on the local news that you should not let your animals outside. It was their lead story.
He was out for maybe 5 minutes between houses and running around.
In this cold weather, here's what you do. Do not let your animals outdoors. Here you go. Here's Spot. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, I have a question.
Go to this house that's not yours.
Here's an animal lover question for you.
Huh? Okay.
If you have two choices with salt, right? The ice is severe right now. It's like anything under 15 degrees, it barely works. People are slipping and sliding. It's dangerous. You have two choices. You can have the pet-friendly salt that doesn't actually melt anything, but the pets don't die. Or you can have, and people slip and slide, or you can actually take care of the ice, but the pets, if they lick it, they're in trouble, or it gets on their paws and it bothers them.
What the fuck's wrong with you? Why is this a question? You get the salt that doesn't hurt the animals. I could sit there on your porch and watch people slip and fall all effing day, as long as they don't die. But but an animal keels over after eating some salt. I'm coming up to your house and I'm calling the police.
I totally agree. But this is why I wish we had signs too. And this time they should have.
I didn't know salt does this. What you mean it kills animals and you're just letting spot outside?
Hurts their paws and it's not good for.
I can't handle this. I don't want to hear stories anymore. This poor Spot.
The other thing I wish we had signs, because you get frowned upon if you don't shovel and don't try and clear, whatever. But this time, like I took the snowblower, did the whole thing on the walk. It only made it worse because it got rid of the snow that was on top of ice that's hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
And what I wish there were signs that said, hey, I left the snow for your safety, because actually walking on top of the snow, and then you don't look like a boob, but you're letting, like, we should have signs like that.
Who is that sign for? Just someone that's making a delivery to your house, because you guys have this weird neighborhood where everybody knows each other. So you could just put
and it's all the people
fire
walking
out there.
All the people walking. It's like we're not. This isn't being inconsiderate. This is actually being considerate. That's what I wish existed. Yeah.
Put that sign out there. It might be a little wordy, but
yeah,
people have to stop and read.
To Scotty Green's point on the offensive coordinator thing, I think the real deadline is prior to the transfer portal, right? It doesn't matter right now that much, other than your own players are in the portal, and you need to have those conversations and an idea of where things are going. But really, before you get to the new year, you've got to have the offensive coordinator in place. So when you're recruiting to the next offense, that's part of the recruitment.
Sean Liverance next. The second half Sunday clearly showed Sean McVay is greater than Dan Campbell. I mean, a lot of McVay is an unbelievable.
Yeah, we'd all take McVay. Yeah, I think most people would. Dan Campbell, though, was in the upper echelon. He's in the top 5.
Yes,
but McVay maybe 1. Would you agree? Is there anybody you want before
as far as I just love Dan Campbell for everything he brings. I feel like I have to say that for some reason.
But if you had to have one coach in the
it's got to be Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
I'm going to glaze him. Huh? The couple predictions, apparently. Josh Kleinsorge. Pat Fitzgerald brings in a top 15 portal class and gives us an 8-4 season with a win over Michigan and a close loss to Notre Dame. And from Evan. Childs and Marsh to Indiana, and Childs wins the Heisman Trophy. Fitz gets a top 20 recruiting class next year. Wow. Childs and Marsh to Indiana?
I know. I do think that Indiana wants Marsh.
Well, no shit.
It would be a good fit, and they, we'll see what they can pay.
Why wasn't that your first hot take?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It'd be interesting, because the thing is, if you're Marsh and you do want to be relatively close to home or whatever, that's still a place that's not that far that's winning, that's going to have a good offense. It'd be interesting if Marsh wanted to. I don't know that playing with Childs would be the sales pitch for Marsh that people think it is. Like, it's not that I don't think they like each other, but if you're Marsh, you've done the Aiden Childs experience. You know what I mean? I might want a different quarterback at this point.
Really? Did he tell you that?
He did not tell me that.
Okay. Pyramid of Health next. Number 1 Friday show was a Mount Rushmore Couch in the Rube episode. Jason was on fire start to finish, and Graham sounded like he was delivering a eulogy for sports journalism. Incredible listen. And 2, Michigan will have a long, drawn-out coaching search that will, in the end, underwhelm.
It's going to be, first of all, thank you for the compliment on Friday show.
Yes, thank you for that, yes. Now to the real stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, what hire would overwhelm right now? Well, there's just not anyone out there.
So does Fish underwhelm?
I mean, Fish seems like the only logical thing right now.
I think they're probably
the only guy, right?
Yeah. I'm very...
guys that know ball tell me that Fish is the guy. So
guys that know ball, yeah. And I keep checking, because it's like, who is...
More vague posts on Twitter?
Well, you just...
If you loved last week, then you better buckle up.
Oh, my God. It's so bad. It's just
like,
so bad.
What?
It's so bad when people... And like, if you know something and you can't tell it, don't tease it. Oh, my God, I just heard something. But wait... just keep
Haven't you done that a couple times on the show?
I'm sure I have, because I'm an asshole.
Oh, man, this is the best story. I can't tell you.
Well, but
Izzo
it's not
told
like
me
this.
the greatest thing.
This is different.
In a roundtable discussion. I wish I could tell you.
There are times I know, like, there are things I don't have to share that I know that I don't, but I do not tease it here, because it's just a jerk thing to do.
Well, it's kind of teasing it, though. If you say that you have stuff
Correct. That's why I don't do that very often. Yeah.
But you have done it, though.
Because I'm a jerk. I'm not saying I'm also a hypocrite, but I'm just saying, like, don't do that. Be better than me at my worst, is all.
I like that. Be better. The old Fezawig of Southern Maine. Best. Graham must be exhausted from rationalizing and explaining the newspaper industry. You would think most of these guys would be. Fezwig. Couch is the whitest knight in the media. Other best. I think we need Jason's cousin to join the show for the Santa Rube segment. Let's hear his perspective in this Christmas miracle. I would love to. I haven't seen him in forever. It would be a great
Could you reach out and
reunion.
explain what we're
I don't
doing?
know how to. I could try to find him. I'd have to go on Facebook. I think he has me blocked.
Wait a second. Why did your cousin have you blocked?
I don't know the real reasoning. It's been so long, to be honest with you.
He wasn't like with you for some other debauchery that.
No. He's a straight and narrow kind of. He moved to Florida. He became he's a personal trainer guy. So he did that. He moved to Florida down there, and then he blocked me on Facebook. And I was like, all right, I guess that's over with.
Trying to get rid of all the bad influences.
Well, he had a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Okay, not the woman.
Raina. I won't say her last name.
Different than that.
But
she was
dude, she was certified. Oh, this is different.
Okay.
She might as well have been from Chartucky, if you know what I mean. She was legendary crazy. Anyway.
That is a story we're telling, presented by
ripped
our
his
friend.
contacts up, ripped them in half, and put them back in his thing.
Oh, Jesus.
And he woke up. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. That is a story we're telling, presented by Midtown Brewing Company. Great place for a date night, for events, both this Saturday night, live music this Saturday night, next Saturday night, ugly sweater party, or just wear your best Muskox flannel next Saturday, 6 to 11, the 27th. Great place to spend an evening during the holidays, 402 South Washington Avenue in downtown.
She also had sex with his brother, my other cousin. There you go. That's another story, too. The old, we read that. Skylar Verdon, Hot Take Friday was a show I was really looking forward to, but ended up being a frustrating show. I know some of the usual Michigan media were still being penises, but by and large, I've seen Michigan getting bashed for the Sherrone thing, even CNN and Fox getting in on it. So I didn't need 2 hours of blue wall questions Friday or putting Graham on trial for the sins of the blue wall. I just wanted to laugh at Michigan. I still love you guys, though.
You see that, guys? You let Skylar down. A little more laughter, a little less blue wall. But
I think he's the only vote for the other side of it.
Maybe. I bet there's some others. I do think he's right in this sense, though.
Well, then skip a show. I don't know.
Well, but how do you know? We don't put disclaimers that this show sucks. You just have to assume that this one's going to suck. But I do think he's right in that that's why we see so much less of it today. I think people realize that Michigan is getting theirs right now.
Max, Allstate was ahead of its time with the commercial trolling the Michigan guy from last fall. Stealing a kid's cotton candy, then saying that it was worth it when he got caught is hilarious when juxtaposed with all of their other charading and lawlessness in their athletic department. And well done, Allstate. Bonus, if Carson Cooper and Jackson Kohler don't start hitting more shots around the basket, we are going to lose a game or two that we shouldn't.
Or that didn't have to lose. Yeah, I don't know if shouldn't is the right word, because obviously you are the player you are. Like if Carson Cooper is somebody who doesn't make buckets around the basket or misses layups, and Jackson Kohler's inconsistent with the shots around in the paint, like that's something that's plagued those guys a little bit for all the other attributes they bring, and so that doesn't mean it's a game you
Would
shouldn't
you tell
lose.
Carson Cooper, though, just dunk it?
Yeah.
Dunk or nothing?
Well, I wouldn't say dunk.
Little hook, baby hook, or dunk?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's wrong for him to shoot like a jumper, but if you're going to the rim, don't lay it up.
No.
Go for the dunk.
Dunk that shit.
Yeah.
Spartholomew tweeted this out during the game, but I've finally learned the Izzo methodology for wonky lineups. Self-force adversity. Come on. You're against a garbage Penn State team in a lousy home environment. How else are you going to force your team to wake up and lock in? And bonus, hope all you losers begging Dan to stop going for it on fourth down are happy.
The Lions don't have a great kicker. I don't think he's their kicker next year.
Bates is all right.
He's okay.
Bates is all right. It's just that we want, like in a game like yesterday, when every point mattered, I feel like you weren't going to beat the Rams by kicking field goals in that scenario when that is your mentality is to go for it in those situations, right? But it's different if you're playing against, like with the Eagles, that when you needed those points, that's when you kick the field goal.
Yes.
When you're outdoors in that environment, you're trying to get field goals. I think Bates is all right. I don't know.
He's okay. Ish.
Then he ended up missing the field. That didn't help Dan Campbell when a guy misses the field goal. Some dude. Seems like the Lions are having a hard time winning games with a lot of starters lost to injury. Wow. I thought just sit your best players out for the first 10 weeks, and then they'll be healthy down the stretch. Then I remembered that we can't win any games without our best players, so I realized this is a really dumb idea that I had. Not the only guy. Baked, Aiden Hutchinson was running faster than Sherrone Moore was last Wednesday, but also still got caught. Oh.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, look.
Hutch didn't have a butter knife, though.
My idea is not foolproof, but it is. I just think if you could create a little depth by having some guys that are available till in week 11, that would be a way to go. And I don't know how to do that necessarily easily on a roster with the constraints.
I think it's just
of the salary cap.
your overall smugness with the take. Like, it's not a dumb take, I don't think. Like, I get it. I get what you're going for. It's just impossible.
It's just that everybody gets hurt.
It's ass.
I found myself rooting for, and this is messed up, but this is what happens in the NFL. I mean,
for the Mahomes injury?
No.
You got it.
Congratulations. Rooting for short-term injuries because they can't get hurt the next 6 weeks. When a guy goes out in week 4 and they're like, he'll be back in a month and a half, you're like, perfect. That's great. That means he can't get hurt. Like, that's what I find myself rooting for.
Doesn't that mean you kind of have a shitty product to the NFL there?
Yeah, well, there's some arguments for it. Yeah.
John Minsley, let's add a 19th game. I was hate watching UCLA basketball Saturday night to see what Booker is up to this year. Oh, shit, that's right. Last spring, I was frustrated that we invested 2 years only to see him bolt for another paycheck. After watching, I have no idea how he would have found minutes on this year's team. Same old Book.
Yeah, I've watched a couple games, and one he looked pretty good in, another same old Book, so to speak. But the talent is there in certain ways. But what I remember asking Izzo about this early last year, I think it was, like, can you change somebody's mentality ever? If they're not an aggressive player, can you change that? Because that's his weakness. Like, if he was just had if he had Jackson Kohler's mindset to basketball with his talent, the guy would be an NBA player. And he just doesn't. And I don't know that you can always.
Booker was not running through a wall for Izzo last year.
No.
He's like, can't we go around it? Is there like an Uber we could take? David Jackson, number 1, MSU has gone 60 minutes of basketball, and Kohler has attempted exactly 1 3-point attempt. Someone, be it the point guards, the shooter, or the coaches, isn't even trying here. Meanwhile, opposing big men get unopposed 3-point attempts whenever the hell they feel like taking one. And 2, the Dusty May technique of recruiting is to find one-year-only big men who are elite talents and build the team around them. This is not a sustainable model, and will break down as soon as you go a year when he can't find a 6'9" or better big man ready to enter the NBA lottery.
It might break down, but you could say that about any approach. Like, you could say that about Izzo's approach if there's a year where he gets caught with a couple extra guys leaving or guys don't develop or whatever. The thing that is critical to what Dusty May is doing is early identification. Some might say too early. It depends on how quickly you actually contact the player. But that is something they've done well. Like, you look at this date in which guys commit. They're on those guys quickly. They've clearly identified people they think work for what they're doing. And I'm not saying that he won't run into a year where it doesn't work, but so far his ability to build a roster and get the most out of. Now, the thing that's hard is it's not really a program. It's team to team to team, right? He's the only common denominator, and maybe that'll change a little bit as he gets his feet in there for a while. But it's worked so far. I don't know. I'm not gonna shit on it entirely because he's done it at multiple levels, and he seems to know what he's doing in terms of putting a roster together.
Matty B, number 1, playing Brandon Sowards as your backup point guard is a reason title number 2 will continue to be elusive for Izzo. Settling. Not doing anything you can to go for it. Another year of elite pieces, but a hole that keeps it as almost good enough. And 2, Graham, let your colleagues know they don't have to cite MSU problems with Michigan's. There was not a single instance of Dr. Anderson being pointed out in any articles about Tucker. If Michigan hadn't gotten off a light penalty, it wouldn't have been in articles about MSU's violations either.
Yeah, I will send that in the group text. It goes out to the sports writers right now.
Welcome to the Blue Wall.
It's titled Blue Wall. Blue Wall Bitches, that's the name of it. Yeah, no question. Yeah, they're going to look. Wojcik it's not Wojcik's fault, but they're going to have to figure that out because there are going to be certain matchups that don't work well for him, and they can't have that situation. He's been okay in a couple spots. I thought he's actually hung in there pretty well.
I just think it was unfortunate that they blew a 10-point lead with him, and they're doing it. It's just the whole thing.
And Fears didn't play that well. The first turnover in that stretch was on Fears, and Fears did not have one of his better games in certain ways too. So like it's not all on him.
Parker Weiss, the investigation Michigan launched has zero credibility. Using a law firm they've already paid to do a similar investigation. Literally just PR moves, so there's a headline that makes them not look like incompetent pieces of shite. Oop, too late. Bonus, I think Joel Welsh is a solid hire as MSU's new strength coach. I like that he was at Iowa from an O-line standpoint. Needs to develop that position group, and that is where major strides can be made in the weight room.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. Obviously, all these guys, you don't make hires you think are going to be bad hires, and there are a lot of good strength coaches out there. And certain guys, when they're like, you look at Will Morlock with the hockey program, that's been a huge, huge part of what they've been able to do. And that, so sometimes, they're guys who are essential too.
Izzo for Prez, we need a Michigan basketball scandal. They are good. I hate it.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Maryland game?
Very little.
I caught the score, and then I saw the end score, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's scary good.
They're good.
That's scary good.
They're very good.
Jay, Riemann Schneider. Only a matter of time before the detractors start with it's Michigan. Of course they're cheating. Talk about this Michigan basketball team. You know it's coming.
But it'll be earned to some degree. I mean, that's the problem with all this stuff. It's happened to Michigan State. It's happened to, obviously the stink is on the football program largely, in hockey in other words, but basketball previously a little bit. Like that's it comes with the territory. And this is why you don't have an athletic department that has the issues Michigan has going on right now. And Michigan State has dealt with this shit before, and because it stinks. It sticks to everybody, I should say. And
it stinks.
And it stinks, yeah.
Moneybag, these next few weeks of weaker competition for MSU basketball need to be used to expand Scott's role at shooting guard. Wojcik playing backup point guard isn't going to cut it in the Big Ten. And from Pat Caverly, all I want for Christmas is for the Denham Wojcik experiment at backup point guard to be over. Thank you, Santa Couch.
Well, it'll be interesting if this guy winds up being, if Denham Wojcik, who again, this is not his fault.
Get a load of this guy.
Until this game had done everything well. Like he had played the end of it, he'd played at the end of the half. It's sort of been his moment. He played a little bit in foul when other guys were in foul trouble here and there, and he'd done fine. And it seemed to be they were using him for, whatever reason, keeping him involved. And I'm not saying there aren't matchups that can't work for him, but this game pinpointed where he's not a Big Ten point guard, and the reason he was at Harvard is a role player there. So yeah, no, it's.
So this next little stretch of games might be big for him.
Well, it'll be interesting.
Get in, and if they blow a 10-point lead, it's easy to get back with some of these teams they're playing. Right?
Yeah, but Toledo was one of the worst teams in the country defensively. And when's the last time that Greg Campy's teams were known for defense? Toledo played Oakland, and the final score was 98-97. So that's who the next two teams they're playing. And then you get a team like Cornell. Again, I'm not
big Denham Wojcik games coming up.
I'm not saying that Denham Wojcik is not somebody who can be used in spots here and there, but I don't know if he can be used as a regular part of the rotation in the middle of halves and in key moments my guess is they'll see this. I understand he's the coach's son and everything, but he's also been, they get it. He understands his own limitations, I think, to some degree as well. I don't think this will wind up being the Steve Polanowski of this year, for those of you who are old enough to remember. That was when I was a fan as a teenager, and Izzo used to play Steve Polanowski like when I was like 15 years old. I'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, every time. And no offense, Polo.
Polo? Is that what you call him?
I don't know. That's what I heard the radio broadcast call him that once when I was like 15 years old.
Polo. G-Money next. Number 1, Divine's play early is great, but man, does it throw a wrench in your lineup combinations. If Denham is point guard number 2, point 2 now. Baked, if Scum wins the basketball natty this year, I might have to take next summer and fall off from sports. Between the Lions, Tigers, Wings, and that, I can't do it.
The Wings suffering again now. They were doing all right for a bit.
Yeah, but they were supposed to make a trade. I'm speaking out of school. I'm only talking about what I hear.
Yeah, and they didn't do it.
Eiserman didn't make a trade or something.
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't. Hughes, or was it Hughes who went from Vancouver to Minnesota or whatever they wanted? Yeah,
Hold on a second. We should probably.
Yes, then play this.
Buenos tardes. It is time for the Detroit Red Wings Gambling All Day with Gramanito Couch and Jason Lee.
Yeah, Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is great. Yes. Thank you very much, by the way. Oh.
A non-racist guy made that, by the way. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yeah, Doug is
the
Doug
furthest from a racist,
absolutely.
But it could be the most racist thing we play.
Yeah, Doug may run Antifa for all we know, right?
What the fuck?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
Would you find that as a compliment? Would Doug find that as a compliment?
If what?
If we said
if he was the next David Koresh?
No, if he ran Antifa, would he say that was?
I don't know. Is that something you want to be proud of? Put that in your Twitter bio?
I don't know either. I'm just saying.
Poor Doug. We just tried to play this here.
We'll fix that in post. I apologize.
Called him racist. And sorry, Doug.
I got thrown off because when you went, I thought you were going to play Hoff. And then
you want some Hoff?
Yeah, please, thank you.
Scott, you. Graham goes on Sheehan's show after the wild week that was Fitt's first week on the job. During the show, he says that, you want this stuff spread out a bit more because this is now a slow week. One day later, oh boy, Graham was wrong. Sherrone, the Blue Wall, and Max Bulla. 2, MSU's closing lineup is rough too. What the fuck? That's where I see Cohen Carr isn't going and gets passive. He gets taken out of the game by some teams. Scott at the 3 keeps the offense keeps flowing and the defense is sometimes improved.
Sorry, I should have edited this better. Scott may have been hanging out with Wojo and having a few beers there. Sorry, Scott. Scott, what happens with some people, and this is usually a compliment to Scott. Some people are usually pretty clean, and so I get a little lazy on my editing because I'm like, I can count on that, right? And then
it's always the compliment first. Yeah. That's the best part about you.
Yeah,
Scott, here's where you get it right.
The Cohen Carr discussion is interesting because there are a couple more on this. I didn't think. I know people they need more from him, right? Than he gave, but I don't
want to bring it up.
He didn't play a bad game. Like his plus minus was as high as anybody but Kohler's. And he does a couple things really well that I think are important. And that's when he has a shot that's okay. Like a couple of those, I think he had at least one, maybe 2 of the Ugochukwu threes were off plays where he got the ball, looked like he was going to take a shot, drew the defense out, and then swung it around, and Ugochukwu got a wide open 3. Like he has a feel that he didn't used to have. Like there's some things he does that are okay. That said, his role this year is supposed to be more than that, right? So he doesn't hurt you when he's out there because he's not like this guy, like as a freshman where I thought in the half-court game he just really hurt them. So that's not happening. They just need more from him, and he just needs to attack and be active, and I think the other stuff will flow from there.
Aaron next. Graham wanted to bring this to your attention. This past May, we ventured to Ireland for an anniversary trip. The public parking in Cork is lovely and easy, but it comes with a caveat and conspiracy in the company name, Blue Wall. Trying to tell us there's no Blue Wall even though it reaches across the Atlantic under the alias of a parking lot. Where does it end? Also, Ireland is lovely. Highly recommend Slay Head Drive and the Southwest region in general. A story almost worth telling.
Presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company. I have been to Southwest Ireland. I've been to Cork. My buddy Scott Powers got married there in 2008. And
then you guys opened a joint bank account.
We did do that.
Stuck up the friendship going.
But yeah, no, in fact, went down to Cork to try to go to a soccer game that was in Cove, and we had the wrong day. This is before, the internet was great. Your phones didn't really work over there. And did the whole Ring of Kerry and up to Sligo, and I love the west side of Ireland. Like I would recommend Ireland to anybody. It's just a fabulous place to visit.
Richard Kane. I might be in the minority here, maybe a minority of one, but I don't much care about why Bullitt was suspended. Does it really matter all of these years later? And bonus, Jeff Kent being in the Hall of Fame and not Lou Whitaker. Lou Whitaker is absolute ass.
Lou Whitaker belongs in the Hall of Fame. It's just,
I know, it's been going on for so long.
It's brutal.
Is it Jeff Kent's fault? No,
but it's somebody's fault. Like
Richard's right. I know Richard's right.
Just take Ryan Sandberg out of the Hall of Fame until Lou Whitaker's in. That's all I would ask. That's all I would ask.
Rhino just died. Dude.
That's okay.
He won't wait till he passes away. What are you, Trump?
He won't know.
Rhino passes away out of the.
You won't know.
He's out till Lou Whitaker's in.
Yep, absolutely. Because look at their stats, okay? Like this is not like these are these.
Save it for July.
Yeah, sorry,
we're not crushing stats right now. Take a look at the stats
to Max Bulla and not mattering why he's suspended.
I don't know why not.
Yes,
I'm intrigued.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. It is one of the great public mysteries, and it has to be solved.
It's like Area 51 and the Bulla suspension.
There you go.
The two things in my life. I just can't wait, Richard. Yeah. Fuck. Give me one thing. Thomas Graham is spot on with his suggestion that college hoops is pretty great, as is, but I still think all of these dudes my age coming over from Europe should probably just go straight to the league instead of playing at Illinois or Penn State.
The European, the onslaught of pros, guys who have professional experience, including in the United States and the G League and stuff, playing in college basketball is something I just disagree with. I think once you choose not to play college ball, now the European stuff's a little more dicey because European people should be allowed to come over and play, but at what point, what level of professional basketball means you can't come play professional basketball in college? Because that's what it is. I think it's an interesting thing, and I think it's one of those things that will have to get worked out, and could get worked out in collective bargaining too for this reason as well. Like, think about how much that hurts high school kids and the fewer scholarships, fewer opportunities. I do think you can find a way to limit that or have certain very strict rules on it or certain at least understood rules on it.
Robert, number one, if we're doing mega conferences, any conference with 12-plus teams must have football divisions. Looking at you, ACC, Big Ten, and the MAC. 2, weekday bowl games are one consideration, but whoever decided that any of them should start before noon should be tarred and feathered.
Wait, they're before noon? Weekday bowl?
9 a.m. I don't know.
Jeez.
Yeah, depends where you live, I guess.
The mega conferences suck because they hurt the regular season. One of the things that's essential in sort of keeping the regular season important in college football is rivalries, is some of the traditional stuff. The more you get away from that, the more regular season games don't matter, the more it becomes a playoff-only sport. That's a big problem for a sport that used to have a great regular season and still does to some degree. Like that, they got to be real, real careful with that.
Mick Narsh next. The NFL flexing games to the same Saturday as the opening weekend of college football playoff absolutely sucks.
Yeah, the NFL is. I mean, these two they're going head to head. Yeah, they don't.
NFL doesn't give a fuck.
They don't. And to be honest, the best college football game is actually the Friday night one. Is the best of the playoff games, and then maybe the Saturday night. So there is one head to head, right? It's the Saturday night NFL and the Saturday night Oregon James Madison game, which is sort of interesting at least.
Bust out those other TVs that you have, if you have any. Richard, my best take. How does Mr. Jack Ebling get the best hot take of the early week? I hope Graham has as much oomph as Jack when he's 82. Is Jack 82?
Jack's not 82. Jack's maybe 76.
Oh.
77?
It's about the same.
76? It's not the same.
It's old. Shouldn't be on the road. This guy drive?
Jack's been...
By the way, is this Ebling's burner?
Jack,
you can just write into the show. I mean, we'll run it. Say Jack E. What does this take?
Jack's been known as a bad driver for many, many years before he got older.
People would rather walk than ride with Ebling, apparently.
So is this the thing? Comment I saw somewhere online.
Is that clip that's been going around?
Yeah,
where it's like ASMR. It's like Ebling takes 9 years to explain it.
What's the one basically saying what's coming down the pike at Michigan is much worse or something like that? I forget exactly what it said, but we'll see.
Take?
We'll see what comes from. But it's not like Jack doesn't have.
It's a lot of oomph.
I mean, Jack has some friends at Michigan. One really close friend who's a Michigan
Blue Belly Tom Crawford. They call him Blue Belly. I mean, kind of outs himself when you're Blue Belly Tom Crawford.
Well, he doesn't pretend to be something he's not. That's for sure. And Tom Crawford.
What's Crawford's take?
Yeah, no, I would.
That's what I want to hear.
I would be curious to see because Crawford's a pretty.
No one else does, maybe.
Pretty level-headed guy on this stuff.
Original Dark Mantonio. Make sure to send Mr. Couch into a tizzy. Take sure to send Mr. Couch into a tizzy. A tizzy? Oomph and a tizzy. I'll take all the surrounding cities and communities over Lansing City proper. You can have it, Graham.
Deal. I'll take Lansing City proper.
Damn.
You know? Yeah.
That's a tizzy.
Yeah, you don't want this fight. You don't want this smoke.
Come at me, bro. Couch on Fire, the Michigan football mess is the definition of Schadenfreude for MSU fans. What a dumb word. Bonus, Max Bulla does on-the-job training for defensive coordinator. MSU turns around the defense, and Rossi gets the head coaching job he covets.
That'll be an interesting partnership. I do think it's good for Bulla. I wondered if he was ready to be a defensive coordinator at this level, and he may have been. I do think they're coming as a co-DC and work with somebody who's
He's the smartest ball
established.
knower, apparently, Max Bulla. What does he need Rossi for? I mean, it's kind of...
But if you've
it's
never...
it's going to be weird, I think.
Okay, maybe it will be. Yeah, well, that'll be interesting to watch.
Neurotic Pants, number one, turning football players into CEOs over billion-dollar corporations sometimes turns out to be a bad idea. Philandering and criminal behavior are presidential privileges. And 2, the Big Ten ain't nothing but a pimped-out outhouse. And 3, Jason dances like an 80-year-old man who drank too much coffee.
Is there evidence of you dancing somewhere?
I don't know.
What is this from?
I don't remember where I was dancing. I don't know if I danced like an 80-year-old. Let's go out to the club, dude.
Yeah.
I'll have a dance-off with you.
I would love to see Mr. Neurotic Pants.
I don't drink anymore, but I'll try to
do a dance
MG
off.
it up.
I'll
do it. Yeah. Robot. Frank Van Gisner. What's the difference between Santa Claus and Sherrone Moore? Santa stops at 3 hoes. Oh, I was not ready to laugh that hard at that. That's why I don't pre-read these. Mark V, a Wolverine limerick. Ooh, 2 for 2? A limerick. A Wolverine limerick. There once was a coach from Ann Arbor who was distracted by his subordinate's ardor. When he saw her chest, it was leaders and best. And now he needs a good lawyer.
Well done, Mark V. Well done, sir.
Mark V, when you're at a party and when you go, I have a limerick real quick, can you hear the people's eyes rolling?
But a good limerick works.
Do you do that?
You have to deliver. You have to deliver.
Have you ever dropped a limerick at one of your holiday parties?
No, but I've heard a good, actually I have, probably. It was inappropriate and I was in college, but yes.
Oh, damn. Hans Jurgen, number one, the only thing more disappointing than MSU's basketball's performance on Saturday is Graham's sexual prowess.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
I should pre-read these too.
2, LA Rams fans have been taunting me with flyover state jokes since Sunday evening. 3, who are the people going to hate now that the Chiefs' kingdom has fallen? Lawyers, teachers, Solari. And bonus, if the Chargers and Rams played in the Super Bowl, would anyone go?
That is the reason why I don't know, the idea that the Rams would get the benefit of the call. I understand the Rams are a more storied franchise. It's still a smallish fan base. The nightmare for the NFL is Jacksonville Chargers coming out of the AFC, and probably the Rams, the least intense fan base in the NFC. I mean, you don't want that. I mean, obviously Super Bowls are corporate.
Yeah, but you'd have
anyway.
all the celebrities would be there.
Yeah, that's true.
You get all those.
Yeah, that's true.
For a Super Bowl, I mean, come on. Jake Hawkins, number one, things that don't go together. Water and electricity. Fire and gasoline. Detroit Lions games and Tom Brady on the broadcast. Tom Brady may be the golden boy, winning 7 Super Bowls, but 4 losses for the Lions in 2025 calendar year when he's calling the game. He's officially a jinx for the Lions. 2, great win on Saturday by MSU, but damn, it was a grinded all out tough fight that MSU almost let slip away. Thank God we have divine Ugo Chukwu. I need to learn how to pronounce his name as he's number 99 to me. I also want one of those lime green quarter zips that Izzo was wearing.
Izzo,
if Santa's listening, get the Hawk one of those. Come on, quarter zips.
Get a Muskox flannel. Better look. Do you start to dread when you hear Tom Brady's voice? Are you associating him with losing yet for the Lions? Because it's
actually until Hawk just dropped that little bit of knowledge, I had no idea what the record was.
It's not good.
I do remember saying a couple times yesterday during the game, God, I just looked at the room and I was like, dude, Tom Brady's a penis. I can't really recall what was said. He's a legend, a GOAT, and all that. Yeah. I'm sitting there why would Tom Brady want to do all this? You know what I mean? I know it's $32 million, but the guy's got money out the ass. You could be living a life, dude. Why are you sitting there?
This is a pretty good life.
Yeah, but you got to sit there and grind week in, week out these dumb games and people critiquing you like me and calling you a penis.
What are you going to do? Just go to the club for the rest of your life?
Hell yes, dude.
Okay.
I would have one of those yachts that he has, and you just go float around. It's amazing. I mean, your wife cheated on you with a jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, I'd be showing everything on Instagram. Giselle Bündchen. Lastly, Upper Deck Jerk Guy. Number one, I don't care if I sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist. The NFL is rigged. 2, Ugo Chukwu emergence shows that Izzo has a team that can reach the Final Four. And that, I am thinking, the way he scares the hell out of me. And that, I am thinking that way scares the hell out of me, he says.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
No, high expectations do scare people. We'll see. I don't think...
don't coach my team.
I think there's some other things that need to be sorted out. But I do think this is a team that on any given day can beat anybody in the country. But we'll find that out because Michigan may not be able to be beaten. And they'll play Michigan end of January, and they'll play them again in February. or February, I think it was. Those will be. We've had some classics in that rivalry. That one is going to be highly, highly, highly anticipated. We appreciate all of you for producing our show, as always, putting up with us. I just can't. I mean, it's amazing that so many people actually listen and care and contribute in the ways you do. We appreciate Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing. Great place for a winter date night, cozy meal. I'm telling you, you'll love the vibe. You'll love the meal. You'll love the drink selection there. Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing. And Muskox Flannels. Go to gomuskox.com. Peacock is the code for $15 off your flannel purchase. Noon Wednesday for Christmas to get it under the tree. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Rube.
What's up, Rob?